Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the Rainbow Speech, number 6, coloring sequel right here. It's basically talking about, it's like from the previous, it's talking about, say, between verb and noun. And of course, right here, it's like for Explore Me Today. And of course, to say with right here is, picture, say, of the mind. And then on the other hand, too, that, with the gift shop. And then, of course, with the statue it is. And basically, that for number 6 is talking about, say, with paintings. So with paintings, that if we were to say, go to like a, say, take a tour here to see to the, University of Missouri, college it is, that a lot of times it say take a tour through there, that we may see maybe a few paintings it is, and knowing about the type of paintings though, that the details I would put right here for the paintings, like I explained, for number 3 it is of the type of paintings that whenever you walk into, like, or say the main, say, walking at area it is that you talk right here, is you got right here is that I would hand you say some picture graphs. It is some picture graphs say that would be on the carpet. It is such as if you were to walk into the room, and then there would be like, say, carpeting right in there, and then right here is that I would hand you the details right here of if there would be, like, say, as a restaurant, and about right here is like some type of cafe. I guess you say that there would be, like, say, some type of cafe in there now, but you say the student loan union it is. You say the building right in there. That there would be, like, say, a cafe at about right there. But anyway, that you have right here is these were ideas, of course, that I thought about of knowing about that back those couple years ago, of knowing about exactly about what was in there at the college it was, and knowing about that if there was like see tiling right here, tiling for where that there could be like maybe a few resting tables it is for if you want to sit down and then have, like, we say, a cup of coffee or have lunch there it was. And then right in here would be, like, say, in this room right here would be like as a couch, and with the like a seating area to where anybody who want to sit down and they say if they want to study anything it was, and talk about right here is that you say got the couch right here, but basically though, that this coloring right here of talking about is like with the painting. So that for the paintings, a lot of times any of us would probably think about between person, place, or thing about a painting though that doesn't represent, you say, that type of say moment is knowing about that you're walking somewhere, and then maybe if you wanted to look at a painting for maybe a few minutes it was, and painting for entertainment, and with anybody, like, what type of, if a painting has anything to do with maybe with education it is. But the way I would think about, I'm like, well, it could be. I'm like that a painting of they say the the University of Missouri, that what it looked like back in 1975, something like that. And then on the other hand, you got the seating area right here, and then right here is an example right here of me, and which I would be, would say with the friends and family it is, and like on the field trip up there to Mizzou it was back those couple of years ago, and just it's like use these, it's like use this as me, and then family members of mine, and as we were to be taking a tour, say through the University of Missouri it was, and you see right here is I would hit add, like, right here is a painting example right here of a painting, and knowing about with the painting, go ahead and use right here is like an orange type color it is. It just add some detail right here. And anybody maybe think about that I don't know if more likely, I guess anybody probably think about that the University of Missouri, they got paintings in there, but on the other hand too, that the painting I seen, if I remember right, was on campus. The painting, of course, you say on campus that showed, like we say, is the loan unit, and of course with like a few other buildings, of course, you say around campus it was, and knowing about that there was not too many that showed, like, what you call like I guess there would not be no graphic paintings or something like that on the carpet. I was thinking about that it would be kind of neat, to see, the Francis Quadrangle, the columns, you say threaded inside the carpet it is. So you go walk into a building and there'll be carpeting areas right in there. But other than that right here, is go ahead and add some detail right here. Is like for the coloring, it's like to represent is like a painting. Anybody maybe think about that? You take a tour to somewhere, and then if you are that type of person who really likes to look at a painting for those couple minutes, maybe a couple of hours it is, and get yourself an idea about that, knowing about that kind of history, about the look back, about knowing about that this is what I want to do whenever I grow up, whenever I after I get done with school. It is like if you were a student going there, it is, and then I can see here, add some detail right here. Is red detail right here is like for the painting right here. But anyway, using rainbow colors, it is. I'm like whenever I drew this right here, is like just give an example of using like say rainbow colors. Is right here is like the type of red, orange right here. It's like for the student, you say Loan Union building. I think that there's a north side and then there's a south side. It is, and then from there, and then see, go ahead, use the orange, see the red it is, and then from there, and then go ahead and go say to the purple. I'm like, I know I added a blue in there somewhere, so it's like go ahead and work with the blue. But basically, though, that just an idea is about whenever you walk into a building and then you see a painting. It is a lot of times that it will be kind of that sometimes a lot of times that they are pretty interesting to look at. Of knowing about that the type of paintings. Of course, what do paintings usually represent, and then do they represent a type of verb or a noun? And I would probably say that in a lot of ways with most paintings, if anybody maybe think about it, it would be kind of cool if they were 3D, it was. But on the other hand, that with most paintings that usually I guess they represent type of work of art it is. With most of the time, I guess anybody would probably think about take a vote, from 1 to 3. What do you think it represents? And just a work of art, for what you can do with your hands. It is, for what you can do with the brush, and of course what you could do with the crayon. It is knowing about the types of realistic details, of course, you could put into the coloring. It is, such as the rooftop, and of course you say the windows for the classrooms and other etc. etc. But most of the time, know that with most drawings, though, that I could probably think about anybody maybe want to look at a painting, have a painting of something, Missouri Tigers, something like that, you say on the wall, just to represent, maybe the school, the university it is. And most of the time, though, I could tell anybody here that, to be proud of knowing about it was something, if it was something that you did, of course, by hand, of knowing about that, just if you were to take a back and forth strokes like this and just watch the crayon, just kind of like a doodle, is like knowing about it's just kind of experimental, like knowing about whenever you do like the back and forth type motion with the crayon, just watch what it does. And then after that, after you're done with the drawing, it is after you spend so much time with the drawing, and then if you want to hang it up on the wall, whichever it is, however you want to do it, and however you want to display it, it is, if like after you get done with it. And but this reminds me a little bit maybe about kindergarten. If I were to do any type of fingerprint, finger paint or anything like that at school was, and more likely the parents are going to want to go home, and then the parents will more likely want to see it. It is, but on the other hand too, that you got right here is the painting, and then a few other buildings. So you got right there. It's like you got the building right here. I think the art center or something like that. And then so you got a sidewalk right here, and then a few other buildings. You say walk around campus. It is, but on the other hand too, that with this drawing right here, go ahead and draw a little bit more of me, as like if this was me wearing, say, that blue shirt, and talking about the things that maybe we would maybe gotten at the gift shop. It was of knowing about that looking at a painting, though, that the type of painting, does a painting really give you a good idea of like what you say is a person, place, or thing, and talking about from who we were with, it was, and talking about that about what their major was, and I didn't find out, of course, until several years later. But on the other hand, that I keep thinking about, anybody maybe thinking about that, that you want to go to college, of course, for a good education, but knowing about between noun and verb, it is, of knowing about between person, place, or thing. Like, so far as talking about, like, anybody probably think about that, whenever I grow up, of course, maybe somebody say, whenever I grow up, I want to run for president. And, I want to run for congressman, I want to run for governor, or something like that. And anybody maybe think about, well, the type of schools, of course, that you would need to go to, of course, just to work on that major it is. And with anybody that, I don't know, I'm like, if anybody said that whenever they grow up that they want to be somebody, it is, such as, you say, astronaut, or if they want to, you say, be, something such as, as a farmer, it is, I don't know, is it the rule to where you had to give that reason to why they want to be somebody, or is it the fact about, maybe if they just want to know what ideas, you were thinking about. But on the other hand, too, the way I think about it, I'm like, that with most of the time that anybody maybe think about, well, that I'm into science, I'm not too crazy about the sports and stuff, but with anybody maybe think about, that whenever you go to school a lot of times, like we say with the Missouri Tigers, it is, of knowing about that most of the time, though, that you probably think about, it's just, something that, keep you like besides getting away from schoolwork, if you want to maybe watch the games, at times it is, but I guess football and basketball, I guess, is not for everybody, but maybe for a few people it is. But on your hand, too, way I think about, I respect that, knowing about that, there are some things that more likely that you may not be interested in. But and then you got right here's the Jesse Hall building right here. Go ahead and add, like we say, it's some color detail right here. It's like, for the Jesse Hall building, if it was, say, painted inside the carpet, it is, threaded, I say threaded. It do, like, say, graphics, graphics art inside the, imprint on the carpet, it is. But other than that you have right here, the details I would put, of course, for, say, for number 6 it is. And anybody maybe thinking about, any ideas, of course, for number 7 and maybe number 8 and 9, I'm like, that I would probably say that anybody maybe thinking about that more likely I would probably say before I do the math about adding up about how many activities talking about with rainbow speech, and I could probably say that for number 7 possible, but I'm like that it all depends, of course, about my time too, and as well as anybody that more likely like to watch my colorings, it is, of knowing about that for whatever details, more likely I can more likely think of many of ideas, of course. But on the other hand too, that knowing about that for whoever that likes to see what, and then for whoever like talking about that knowing about, well, that's not what that looks like. It's like, and I can tell anybody here that I probably have not used everything about Mizzou. It is, I probably have not talked about everything related to the University of Missouri it was, and a few other buildings, of course, that I may have not mentioned before. But on the other hand, too, it's like talking about it's like the work of art. It's basically talking about that knowing about, it's like for what's the interest in knowing about, you just never know if you like it unless if you try. As I talk about, for explore me and knowing about, then if it's a painting, some type of painting or some type of a sculpture it is, of say a statue it is. But other than that, as I talk about right here, it starts off for rainbow speech, you say Mizzou coloring, so far as activity 6.